I've got less than 20 minutes. Just find me a bride.
Nathan, where are you? It's our wedding day, remember?
We can't get married today.
Now I have less than 10 minutes. Just find me a bride.
My name's Emma. I overheard your fiance didn't show up. My fiance left me. So, why don't we get married instead? I do have two simple requests first. Let's keep our relationship private just for a while. And secondly, I'd really appreciate it if you stay out of my personal affairs.
Well, I can do those things. But after 6 weeks, the wedding goes public. Okay?
Yes.
Hey, Emma. Listen, Amber is supposed to be performing tonight, but I really need you to fill in. Makeup artist will give you a mask so no one can recognize.
Thought you said she got hurt on stage. Shouldn't the media already know?
Yeah. I told everyone that she would still go on with the injury, but look, baby, I just please come over here. I'll tell you what needs to be done, so we'll just do it.
Well,
Baby, please. We'll be saving your husband-to-be, and tomorrow we will have a beautiful, calm wedding, just the two of us.
okay. Sure. I'll do it. Just send me the address. Lisa, are you home? I need to talk to you in private.
Yeah. What's going on? Are you alright?
Yeah, don't stress. I'll explain everything. I'll be there in 10.
Mr. Roberts, would you like to head home and break the news to your family? No. Got some business I need to handle. I need you to keep an eye on Emma, okay? I want you to watch her every move. You got it.
Oh, you are the most stunning bride I've ever seen. Can I start congratulating you on your new status?
Kind of, but I didn't marry Nathan.
What? What do you mean?
Look, I promise I will fill you in on everything soon, but right now there's something more pressing. Amber injured her leg, and Nathan wants me to step in for her at tonight's crucial show.
Again, is he serious? If you hadn't decided to take a step back from the spotlight, she wouldn't even
Lisa?
be working.
I already agreed.
Are you really gonna do this? Emma, so you're saying that you have a plan?
Hell yeah, I do. Amber's so desperate to convince the media she's doing the show to boost her chances for the top 10 model awards. Do you think you can help me by visiting the hospital?
I see where you're going. You want me to prove that she was at the hospital during the show and expose it to the public.
Well, I have bigger news. Amber's pregnant and the kid is Nathan's.
Oh my God.
I'm going to tell the media that Nathan has repeatedly used me as a stand-in for Amber during her shows. But I need your help finding the evidence.
Oh, absolutely.
I won't let them use me like that again. Let's make them pay.
Yes, Emma. You can count on me.
Oh, Lise, do you have that change of clothes?
I sure do. Come.
Thanks.
Hey, thank God you're here. Gary, come over here. You remember Gary, right? This is Amber's assistant. I won't be able to be with you, so he's gonna help you get ready. Okay? Cool.
Hi.
Hi.
So, what kind of show we got tonight?
Nothing special. Let's get you ready.
Okay.
So,
Nice to meet you. Emma. Thank you. This is next dress. Fantastic. Yeah, beautiful.
you will appear in Amber's place in the grand finale, showcasing this stunning diamond bracelet. The show kicks off in an hour. Let's make the magic happen.
You got it.
Mr. Roberts, Emma's stepping in for Amber.
I'll be there in an hour. Give me the best seat.
You'll descend onto the stage on a chair lower from the rafters. This bracelet is the crown star. Let me complete your look.
Okay.
It's too big. Oh! How are you gonna wear it? Oh.
Don't worry. I have an idea. I'll make this moment unforgettable.
Oh.
Just as everyone thought the show had already reached its climax, Emma descended gracefully to the stage on a chair. The spotlights illuminated her, but the crown star was nowhere to be seen. Whispers ran through the crowd while stylists and assistants frantically started searching for the jewelry that was meant to be the highlight of the show. Forgetting the audience, they even pushed back Emma's sleeves and raised the hem of her gown, displaying her lovely, pale, long legs. Legs so beautiful, they were unforgettable. Just as quickly as the whispers had started, they stopped. Emma elegantly raised her arm, tilted her head back, and lifted her left leg, striking a beautiful dance pose. The crown star appeared sparkling magnificently around Emma's ankle. Everyone froze in amazement. The sight of Emma leaning back in the chair, flowing from one striking pose to the next, was mesmerizing. The audience rose to their feet and gave Emma a standing ovation. Among the crowd, hidden away at the back, Eric was completely focused on Emma. His new wife, once New York's top model, was in her glory. Standing in for a B-grade model, despite the 3 years that had passed since her last appearance, she was just as exciting as she'd ever been. She was born for the runway. After Emma's final pose, the show came to a satisfying end. Bellamy's founder, Julius Taylor, was thrilled with her performance and the crowd's reaction. But because he was backstage, he hadn't yet realized that the model on the runway was actually Emma, not Amber Lee. He walked out on stage and approached Emma. He offered his hand to help her off the chair, led her to the head of the runway, and then bowed to the audience. Thank you, everyone, and of course, thank you, Amber, for a spectacular performance. Emma stayed silent, simply responding with an elegant nod of her head. Suddenly, a high-pitched voice said, "That isn't Amber. I know Amber, and she doesn't have such long legs." The applause stuttered. The voice called out again, "If you're Amber, take off your mask." Murmurs of doubt and disbelief multiplied and grew louder as the crowd began to wonder just who this phenomenal model was. "Miss Amber, please remove your mask," requested Julius. Emma hesitated, but then slowly slid the mask up her face as the audience held their breath. With the mask removed, the crowd immediately recognized her for who she really was. It's Emma Miller! Questions were being murmured all around the room. Emma had been blacklisted after stepping back from her work years ago, but would she really stoop so low as to impersonate another model? Whose idea was this? Was she deliberately creating hype, or had she been forced to step into this role? "Emma! It's actually Emma!" A swarm of reporters quickly surrounded her, peppering her with questions. "Miss Miller, could you please explain what's going on? Amber was supposed to be today's model. Why are you here instead? Miss Miller, you were blacklisted 3 years ago. Are you trying to take this opportunity to announce a comeback? Miss Miller, are you taking advantage of Amber's injuries to steal her opportunity to represent Bellamy? Emma, are you just trying to create hype? You must have known Amber was injured." The reporters' questions grew more and more intense, and some people in the audience began shouting insults. "Bellamy is Amber's gig! Give it back to her!" Emma was already beginning to panic under the onslaught when Julius turned on her in fury. "I am going to sue Global for breach of contract. I asked for Amber, not some third-rate model." He had no idea just how famous Emma had been 3 years ago. All he knew was that this controversy was ruining his show. "I'll see you in court," he snarled at Emma. "Get out of here. You do not deserve to be standing on my runway." His sharp voice echoed through the building, temporarily quieting even the reporters. But Emma couldn't move. She had prepared herself for this moment, but the humiliation still stung. "Go on, get lost." Then, from the end of the stage, a deep voice cut through her shock. "Well, it's clear that someone needs to get lost." Everyone turned to look for the source of the authoritative voice. There, standing at the edge of the stage, was Eric Roberts, the CEO of Kaleidoscope Entertainment. Everyone knew that Eric Roberts despised the games and the drama that the modeling industry was known for. People started wondering whether he was about to drag Emma off the stage. The entire hall seemed to be holding its breath, waiting for the axe to fall. A whoosh of surprise sounded as Roberts walked over to Emma and stood next to her. With the commanding tone of a man used to being in charge, he turned to Julius and said, "She's not the one that should get lost. You are. Your manners, it would appear, are not nearly as polished as your jewelry." Emma's heart stopped for a moment. Who would have thought that her new husband, a man she'd only just met for the 3rd time, would stand up for her like that? The reporters were stunned and began to worry. If they'd known earlier that Emma had ties with Eric Roberts, they would never have been so rude. Julius Taylor knew he could not afford to offend the CEO of Kaleidoscope Entertainment. After a few moments of silence, he reluctantly said, "My apologies, Mr. Roberts. I didn't know about your relationship with—" "I have no relationship with her," Eric responded. "I'm simply disgusted with your behavior." Eric began to walk away, but then turned back and announced, "Mark my words, this woman will be a star in the modeling industry again." The media were in a frenzy. What does Eric Roberts mean by this? Does he intend to sign Emma Miller? Is this some kind of joke? Whatever the explanation, the reporters no longer dared to focus on Emma. Instead, they shifted the blame to Global. Global's troubles began, and at first, Amber Lee's assistant received the blame. If he couldn't even handle such a small matter, what else would he do wrong? Emma seemed unfazed by the uproar, maintaining an expression of unruffled calm. She changed her clothes and left the event. As she stepped out of the side door, she spotted Eric Roberts' sports car waiting for her. "Get in quickly," he said. Emma got in the car. She was exceptionally grateful for what he had done. "Thank you for today." Eric's eyes slightly narrowed as he smirked. "Did you think I would allow someone to bully my wife in front of everyone?" "Actually, I didn't deserve your help. I intentionally allowed everyone to figure out who I really was," she explained unapologetically. He looked her straight in the eyes. "I know, but you should have asked me for help. Sacrificing yourself to get back at someone is a bit self-destructive, don't you think?" "Maybe." "Where should I drop you off?" "Your home. Aren't we a married couple now?" Emma replied. Since she had made the decision to get married, she was not going to go back on her word, nor feel any regret. "Are you sure? Not only are we married, but tonight is our wedding night." Emma blushed, but nodded firmly. "I am very thankful that you didn't reveal our relationship, but from now on, I insist that you stay neutral. I want to rely on myself to do what needs to be done." Eric did not protest. He enjoyed the idea of a woman who did not want to use him as a stepping stone to her own advancement. He decided to sit back and see what Emma could accomplish. The couple set off. Not long after, Emma received a phone call from her manager, Lisa. "Emma, I've already found evidence of Amber's pregnancy. What do you want me to do with it? Also, this scene you caused at the show today has gone viral. People are really turning against you online. What's the plan?"
Hi, Emma here. I hope you are enjoying the show, The Billionaires' Accidental Bride. If you want to know what happens next, click on the link in the description to listen to the full audio series. You can also watch the next episode here in the playlist.
I won't let you marry Nathan. I'm carrying his child.
Nathan, where are you?
Amber got hurt on stage. We can't get married today, okay? Let's just postpone the wedding until tomorrow.
And find someone else on my contact list. I don't care who it is. Sure.
My fiance left me. So, why don't we get married instead? I won't let them use me like that again. Let's make them pay.
"Emma, are you saying you have a plan?" Amber is desperate to convince the media that she's attending the show because she doesn't want anything to hurt her chances for the Top 10 Model Awards. "Can you help me by paying a visit to the hospital?" "I see what you're getting at. You want to prove that she was still at the hospital during the show and reveal it to the public." "No, I have bigger news. She's pregnant, and the child is Nathan's. I want to tell the media that Nathan has used me over and over to fill in for Amber during her shows, but I need your help finding the evidence." "Don't worry, Emma. You can count on me." Emma felt unusually calm. She was going to treat them like they had treated her. Emma quickly gathered her belongings and drove to the venue for the show to meet with Amber's assistant, Gary. "What took you so long? Quick, come and get your makeup done." "What type of show is it today?" Emma asked as Gary hurried her down the hallway. "Nothing special," he replied. She knew that it was far more than nothing special. In fact, it was a jewelry show for the famous French brand Belle Amé. After this show, Amber would be able to sign on as Belle Amé's spokesperson. Her injuries would keep her from this opportunity unless Emma filled in for her. Amber's assistant had lied to her. Had she always been this easy to trick? Emma wondered. Because Amber is doing so well, she has her own makeup room, which you can use. "You will appear in the grand finale, presenting this piece of jewelry," said Gary, pointing to the piece she would be wearing. Then he ordered the makeup artist to get started. Did Nathan really think that a mask would hide her identity? Meanwhile, Eric's assistant Luke had been following Emma's every move and overheard that she would be filling in for Amber. He reported back to Roberts, who ordered Luke to make arrangements. "I'm going to this jewelry show," he said. "Make it happen." "Yes, Mr. Roberts." Classical music was playing throughout the halls of the Brooklyn City Center. The show had begun. Emma's makeup was complete. She was now standing in front of the mirror in the dressing room. Her beautiful golden mask gave off a mysterious aura. She was absolutely stunning. Gary, Amber's assistant, was speechless. Even if Emma stands completely still, he thought, she'll still be the center of attention. Amber will certainly get the contract now. He told Emma, "You will descend onto the stage on a chair that will be lowered from the rafters. This bracelet is the crown star. Let me put it on you." Gary unclasped the bracelet and carefully put it around Emma's wrist. However, Emma was slimmer than Amber, and the bracelet was too big. With every small movement of her arm, it slid around. The gold bracelet had been designed by the founder of Bellamy for his beloved daughter. A crown encrusted with diamonds was the centerpiece, with a star set on either side of it, like two parents protecting their precious child. "It's too big," said Gary in a state of panic. "How are you going to wear it?" "Do you trust me?" Emma said. "Right now, I have no other option," Gary said. "In that case, leave it to me," Emma reassured him. Emma smiled and nodded, then lifted the hem of her dress slightly so that she could move quickly toward the back of the stage. With the mask in place, her face was fully concealed. Her legs, though, were unique. 3 years ago, one of Emma's claims to fame had been having the most beautiful legs in the world. Just as everyone thought the show had already reached its climax, Emma descended gracefully to the stage on a chair. The spotlights illuminated her, but the crown star was nowhere to be seen. Whispers ran through the crowd while stylists and assistants frantically started searching for the jewelry that was meant to be the highlight of the show. Forgetting the audience, they even pushed back Emma's sleeves and raised the hem of her gown, displaying her lovely, pale, long legs. Legs so beautiful, they were unforgettable. Just as quickly as the whispers had started, they stopped. Emma elegantly raised her arm, tilted her head back, and lifted her left leg, striking a beautiful dance pose. The crown star appeared sparkling magnificently around Emma's ankle. Everyone froze in amazement. The sight of Emma leaning back in the chair, flowing from one striking pose to the next, was mesmerizing. The audience rose to their feet. "Please remove your mask," requested Julius. Emma hesitated, but then slowly slid the mask up her face as the audience held their breath. With the mask removed, the crowd immediately recognized her for who she really was. "It's Emma Miller!"
Hi, Emma here. I hope you are enjoying the show, The Billionaires' Accidental Bride. If you want to know what happens next, click on the link in the description to listen to the full audio series. You can also watch the next episode here in the playlist.
Yes.
Hey, Emma. Listen, Amber is supposed to be performing tonight, but I really need you to fill in. The makeup artist will give you a mask so no one's gonna recognize you.
Thought you said she got hurt on stage. Shouldn't the media already know?
Yeah, I told everyone that she would still go on with the injury, but look, baby, I just, please come over here. I'll tell you what needs to be done, so we'll just do it.
Well,
Baby, please, we'll be saving your husband-to-be, and tomorrow we will have a beautiful, calm wedding, just the two of us.
okay. Sure. I'll do it. Just send me the address.
Nathan truly believed that the mask can hide her identity?
"Miss Amber, please remove your mask," requested Julius. Emma hesitated, but then slowly slid the mask up her face as the audience held their breath. With the mask removed, the crowd immediately recognized her for who she really was. "It's Emma Miller!" Questions were being murmured all around the room. Emma had been blacklisted after stepping back from her work years ago, but would she really stoop so low as to impersonate another model? Whose idea was this? Was she deliberately creating hype, or had she been forced to step into this role? "Emma! It's actually Emma!" A swarm of reporters quickly surrounded her, peppering her with questions. "Miss Miller, could you please explain what's going on? Amber was supposed to be today's model. Why are you here instead?" Miss Miller, you were blacklisted 3 years ago. Are you trying to take this opportunity to announce a comeback? Miss Miller, are you taking advantage of Amber's injuries to steal her opportunity to represent Bellamy? Emma, are you just trying to create hype? You must have known Amber was injured. The reporters' questions grew more and more intense, and some people in the audience began shouting insults. Bellamy is Amber's gig. Give it back to her. Emma was already beginning to panic under the onslaught when Julius turned on her in fury. I am going to sue Global for breach of contract. I asked for Amber, not some third-rate model. He had no idea just how famous Emma had been 3 years ago. All he knew was that this controversy was ruining his show. I'll see you in court, he snarled at Emma. Get out of here. You do not deserve to be standing on my runway. His sharp voice echoed through the building, temporarily quieting even the reporters. But Emma couldn't move. She had prepared herself for this moment, but the humiliation still stung. Go on, get lost. Then, from the end of the stage, a deep voice cut through her shock. Well, it's clear that someone needs to get lost. Everyone turned to look for the source of the authoritative voice. There, standing at the edge of the stage, was Eric Roberts, the CEO of Kaleidoscope Entertainment. Everyone knew that Eric Roberts despised the games and the drama that the modeling industry was known for. People started wondering whether he was about to drag Emma off the stage. The entire hall seemed to be holding its breath, waiting for the axe to fall. A whoosh of surprise sounded as Roberts walked over to Emma and stood next to her. With the commanding tone of a man used to being in charge, he turned to Julius and said, "She's not the one that should get lost. You are. Your manners, it would appear, are not nearly as polished as your jewelry." Emma's heart stopped for a moment. Who would have thought that her new husband, a man she'd only just met for the 3rd time, would stand up for her like that? The reporters were stunned and began to worry. If they'd known earlier that Emma had ties with Eric Roberts, they would never have been so rude. Julius Taylor knew he could not afford to offend the CEO of Kaleidoscope Entertainment. After a few moments of silence, he reluctantly said, "My apologies, Mr. Roberts. I didn't know about your relationship with—" "I have no relationship with her," Eric responded. "I'm simply disgusted with your behavior." Eric began to walk away, but then turned back and announced, "Mark my words. This woman will be a star in the modeling industry again." The media were in a frenzy. What does Eric Roberts mean by this? Does he intend to sign Emma Miller? Is this some kind of joke? Whatever the explanation, the reporters no longer dared to focus on Emma. Instead, they shifted the blame to Global. Global's troubles began and, at first, Amber Lee's assistant received the blame. If he couldn't even handle such a small matter, what else would he do wrong? Emma seemed unfazed by the uproar, maintaining an expression of unruffled calm. She changed her clothes and left the event. As she stepped out of the side door, she spotted Eric Roberts' sports car waiting for her. "Get in quickly," he said. Emma got in the car. She was exceptionally grateful for what he had done. "Thank you for today." Eric's eyes slightly narrowed as he smirked. "Did you think I would allow someone to bully my wife in front of everyone?" "Actually, I didn't deserve your help. I intentionally allowed everyone to figure out who I really was," she explained unapologetically. He looked her straight in the eyes. "I know, but you should have asked me for help. Sacrificing yourself to get back at someone is a bit self-destructive, don't you think?" "Maybe." "Where should I drop you off?" "Your home. Aren't we a married couple now?" Emma replied. Since she had made the decision to get married, she was not going to go back on her word, nor feel any regret. "Are you sure? Not only are we married, but tonight is our wedding night." Emma blushed, but nodded firmly. "I am very thankful that you didn't reveal our relationship, but from now on, I insist that you stay neutral. I want to rely on myself to do what needs to be done." Eric did not protest. He enjoyed the idea of a woman who did not want to use him as a stepping stone to her own advancement. He decided to sit back and see what Emma could accomplish. The couple set off. Not long after, Emma received a phone call from her manager, Lisa.
Emma, I've already found evidence of Amber's pregnancy. What do you want me to do with it? Also, the scene you caused at the show today has gone viral. People are really turning against you online. What's the plan?
Hi, Emma here. I hope you are enjoying the show, The Billionaires' Accidental Bride. If you want to know what happens next, click on the link in the description to listen to the full audio series. You can also watch the next episode here in the playlist.
Eric, do you agree to take this woman as your wife?
I do.
Emma, do you agree to take this man as your...
I do.
You have to agree. Emma knew that marrying Eric could make Nathan regret his actions.
Thank you, Eric. If you need anything, just let me know. Although I do have two simple requests first. Let's keep our relationship private just for a while. And secondly, I'd really appreciate it if you stay out of my personal affairs.
The couple set off. Not long after, Emma received a phone call from her manager, Lisa.
Emma, I've already found evidence of Amber's pregnancy. What do you want me to do with it? Also, the scene you caused at the show today has gone viral. People are really turning against you online. What's the plan?
Lisa, are you willing to stick with me?
Do you even have to ask? Lisa replied. Would you really expect me to pick that cheating couple over you?
Then release the statement that I asked you to prepare earlier. But I need to be clear. By doing this, you'll be going up against global...
I'm not afraid,
Lisa exclaimed.
We should have done this sooner. I'll prep the post now and release it before Nathan Davis has a chance to put something out first.
Emma hung up, and a peaceful silence settled in the car. But deep down, Emma was nervous. What did Eric think of her? She began to speak, but Eric interrupted. No need to explain. I heard your conversation just now. I heard it all. But I have one question. Have you always been this honest? They had pulled up at a red light, and Eric took the opportunity to reach out and gently turn her face toward him so he could examine her with his eagle-like gaze. I'll always be honest with you, and I really mean that, Emma said, revealing her loyalty. I don't want you to misunderstand what's going on and think badly of me. Eric was taken aback for a moment, but then he said, if I were you, I would take things even further. He must have guessed by now what was going on between Emma, Amber, and Nathan. His offer of support deepened Emma's appreciation for her new husband. She vowed to herself that, no matter what, she would remember that day and the promises she made to Eric forever. Meanwhile, Nathan was reeling in disbelief from receiving the news of Emma's exposure on stage. At the same moment, he received a call notifying him of Bellamy's intention to take Global Entertainment to court for breach of contract. In an instant, Global had gotten itself into a heap of trouble, and rumors were spreading across the internet like wildfire. Amber, focused on the video of Emma's performance on stage, pulled Nathan towards her. Look, she wanted to be recognized. She knows the biggest difference between us is our legs. She did it on purpose. Amber, Emma isn't like that. And you know it's not the first time she stood in for you. So, what you're saying is that you trust her? Don't be stupid, Nathan. Someone's going to have to take the blame for all this. Do you really want to lose the Bellamy contract? Do you want to tell everyone that you were the one who asked Emma to stand in for me? If you do that, it'll be the end for us. What are you suggesting? For the sake of Global, you need to make an announcement. You need to tell everyone that you were completely unaware of any of this. And the whole thing was just Emma trying to create hype. You can say that's why she went behind our backs and pretended to be me. I guess, under the circumstances, that's all we can do. Nathan nodded in agreement. But as he was about to pick up the phone to contact Global's head of PR, he received a call from his assistant.
Quick, Mr. Davis, check the headlines. Emma's manager has just broken a story.
Nathan quickly jumped online to search the news feeds. To his disbelief, he saw that Emma's manager was already a step ahead of them. She had revealed that Nathan had forced Emma to stand in for Amber multiple times over the past 3 years. She had even posted pictures of the two models as proof and had claimed that Emma had been bullied for many years. Seething with anger, Nathan contacted Emma's manager. "Lisa, are you crazy?" Lisa's laughter resounded on the other end of the call. She calmly responded,
"I wanted to leave your lousy company for a long time,"
and hung up the phone. "Nathan, this is definitely Emma's doing," Amber said. "Quick, we need to cover it up somehow." Nathan immediately started contacting his connections in the media. He quickly had them prioritizing posting the announcement he had prepared earlier, alleging that Emma was just trying to grab the spotlight. In no time at all, Emma and Global Entertainment were trending. No one was aware of the relationship between Emma and Eric Roberts, and no one was brave enough to risk offending Nathan Davis. So at first, Emma was definitely on the wrong side of public opinion, attracting an avalanche of hateful comments. Just as it started to look like her reputation had been damaged beyond repair, the term Emma stand-in jumped to the top of search rankings. Search results were all leading to the news Lisa had released earlier, that Emma was the real victim. Lisa's story had come out first, and the online community made their own decisions. On top of everything else, the fact that Emma had filled in for Amber so many times without causing any trouble and was still being used became the deciding factor. Opinion turned strongly in Emma's favor. In disbelief, Nathan picked up his phone and contacted his PR team, ordering them to spend however much it took to discredit Emma and bury her news. Meanwhile, Eric was on calls with his contacts. If Emma's name disappears from the search rankings, you and your company are done.
Hi, Emma here. I hope you are enjoying the show, The Billionaire's Accidental Bride. And if you want to know what happens next, click on the link in the description to listen to the full audio series. You can also watch the next episode here in the playlist.
The media couldn't afford to get on the wrong side of Kaleidoscope Entertainment, even though they didn't understand why Eric Roberts' company would be helping Emma. Even Lisa didn't understand why their plan had run so smoothly.
"Emma, tell me, are you getting support from another company?"
"No," Emma replied. "There is someone who's been helping me behind the scenes, but I can't reveal who he is yet."
"Okay, we'll talk about it later. Just the thought of Nathan's distraught face is enough to keep me going for now."
"Are you trying to use this opportunity to leave Global?" Eric asked once he and Emma had sat down to dinner. "No, that would be letting them off too easy. I'm gonna tear them down," she said with relish. "Plus, I've decided to properly get back to modeling. I'm not as well known in the industry as I used to be, so Global may still be of some use." "You're thinking like this right now because you're angry. What if one day you don't hate Nathan anymore?" "I've made my decision, and I won't regret it, let alone turn back," Emma said firmly. Eric was very intrigued by his new wife. Emma knew she couldn't hide anything from Eric, so she decided to reveal everything to him. Good or bad, Eric said, "I've asked my assistant to arrange a room in this hotel. Tonight, we'll stay here." Emma's ears flushed red as she nodded. "That's up to you." After a romantic dinner, Eric took Emma's hand and led her to the hotel's penthouse. She was shocked to see that it wasn't just a regular penthouse. It was the wedding suite. She was still nervous, though, and Eric could sense it. He turned to her and said, "I'll have a shower first, so you can have some time to make a decision. If you're not sure, we can put off any official wedding night activities until another time." She felt grateful for his thoughtfulness as she watched him head into the bathroom. But after all, they were already married. and there was no denying the attraction she felt for him. Finally making her decision, she pushed the door open. He looked at her in surprise as she stepped into the shower, fully dressed, and embraced him. "I have no regrets about marrying you." "Are you sure?" "I'm absolutely certain." Emma's senses were buzzing. "Well, to other people, I am like that. But you're different. Since you're my wife and you're so trusting of me, I'll show you my true self. But Emma, I must warn you. To me, a lie is a lie. If you betray me, I will never forgive you." That night, their hearts had drawn closer together. The next morning, Emma awoke to the blinding light of the sun shining through the window. To her surprise, the spot beside her in bed was empty. She thought Eric had already left, but she found him waiting for her in the living room. "I ordered some new clothes for you. We'll leave as soon as you're ready." At that moment, her phone rang. It was Nathan. Eric handed it to Emma, who put the call on speakerphone.
Emma, where are you right now?
Nathan asked. "I was afraid the reporters would find me, so I found a place to hide," she answered calmly.
"So you don't know what Lisa did?" Nathan asked in disbelief.
"What did Lisa do?" Emma tried to sound curious.
"Thanks to your manager, Global Entertainment is in crisis. I'm counting on you to clear Global's name."
Press conference, she thought. That's just going to be another opportunity for him to pin the blame on me. "All right," she said. "I'm on my way." Eric looked at her with concern and said, "I've put my number in your phone. Anytime you need me, just call." "Thank you, Mr. Roberts." "You can't call me that anymore. I'm your husband." After stepping out of the car, she entered the building through a private walkway. As soon as the staff spotted her, they began whispering to each other. Pretending not to notice them, she knocked on the door of Nathan's office. "You're back." Nathan turned to her, holding back his anger. "Tell me what happened with Lisa," she responded. Nathan threw a newspaper down in front of her. "If you didn't tell her to make this statement, who did?" "Nathan, we're about to get married. Why would I do something that would hurt you?" Emma looked at him innocently. "Then how do you explain putting that bracelet on your ankle? You know very well the biggest difference between you and Amber is your legs." Emma just looked steadily at Nathan as he interrogated her. "I couldn't wear the crown star anywhere but my ankle. Amber's assistant, Gary, was there. Ask him." "He said you made the decision yourself," Nathan pressed on. "But why would you believe him and not me?" Emma faked a look of disappointment. "Look, the damage is done," Nathan said. "And now Bellamy is threatening to sue us for breach of contract. You need to fix this. For the sake of Global Entertainment, you have to step up and explain to everyone that your manager created this mess and Global had nothing to do with it. Saying that my manager was responsible is the same as saying I was responsible. You were the one who called me to stand in for Amber at the last minute," Emma cried. "Why should I be sacrificed?" "Because being recognized was clearly your fault." As soon as those words left his mouth, he must have felt that he had gone too far. "Emma, please, just this once, okay? After we're married, I promise you this will never happen again." "All right, I'll do the press conference. There better not be a next time." "Yes, I promise there will be no next time." In fact, Nathan was confident Emma would fall for this kind of stunt again and again. And once they were married, he would be able to control her even more easily. The press conference will be this afternoon at 3. Emma forced herself to look into Nathan's eyes, as if she still loved him. But as soon as she left the room, her gaze turned cold. She would never take the blame for Nathan's messes again. She called her manager. "Lisa, Nathan is trying to use me."
"Of course he is. Tell me what I can do,"
Lisa responded, ready to fight. "At 3 p.m., I'm going to announce that I created this mess and then apologize to Global and the public. But right after that, I want you to anonymously release the photos of Nathan and Amber together at the hospital."
You got it. I even thought up a great headline. "Exposed. Global Entertainment's boss's affair. He's a big cheating piece of scum."
Hi, Emma here. I hope you are enjoying the show, The Billionaires' Accidental Bride. If you want to know what happens next, click on the link in the description to listen to the full audio series. You can also watch the next episode here in the playlist.
Emma, as long as you're willing to fight, I'm planning to turn you into an international supermodel.
International supermodel? Emma repeated to herself. She had never allowed herself to dream that big. And for now, she just wanted to focus on the present and make Amber and Nathan suffer the consequences of their actions. Just before the press conference at Global Entertainment, Nathan surprised Emma by taking her to lunch at an elegant restaurant in their office building. He even ordered a gorgeous arrangement of red roses for the table. But she just looked blankly at the beautifully set table, not even smiling. "I ordered your favorite, sirloin steak," he said, as if offering her a prize. She couldn't believe her ears. After dating for 5 years, Nathan still didn't know what she liked to eat? "What's wrong?" he asked. Before she could respond, the chef approached the table with their meals and said, "Miss Miller, I'm pleased to present you with your favorite dish, filet mignon. On behalf of Frederick's Restaurant, congratulations on your marriage." Pointing to her plate, Nathan quietly said to Emma, "Wait, is this really your favorite?" Emma ignored Nathan and spoke directly to the chef. "Thank you, but we aren't married yet, and I'm so impressed that you remembered what I liked." The chef acknowledged her words with a nod and a smile and left them to their meal. Emma turned back to Nathan. "We should eat. We still need to get back to the office and discuss the script." Inside, she felt like screaming, but she kept her composure. Just then, she received a text from Eric with the heading 0819. 0819, August 19th. That's the date of our wedding, she thought. The filet mignon is from me. The chef was referring to our wedding. Emma smiled to herself and typed her response under the table. "How did you know I was here?" "I have my ways of finding out," Eric responded. She glanced around the restaurant but couldn't spot Eric. How had he organized something so thoughtful? Even though she couldn't see him, she could sense his powerful presence. "Emma, what are you looking at?" Nathan asked, waving his hand in front of her face. "Oh, nothing." She shook her head and calmly changed the topic. "Nathan, when are we actually getting married?" "After all this commotion has settled down," he answered. "You do realize that the Top 10 Model Award could be Amber's big break. She's so lucky to have your help. Otherwise, her career could be in ruins." He poured them both some wine and raised his glass to hers. "I'll help you both get what you deserve." Emma smiled sweetly at Nathan, taking full advantage of her charming dimples. But he didn't notice her beauty or hear the hidden meaning in her words. His thoughts were with Amber. He had totally succumbed to her allure and could think of nobody else. "After the press conference, I need you to call your manager," he told Emma brusquely. "We're going to have to take legal action against her." "All right," Emma responded, but there was no way she was going to let him retaliate against Lisa. By the time they finished their lunch, reporters from all areas of the media were waiting at the global offices to hear what Emma had to say. Since retreating from the public eye, her name had all but disappeared. Today was the perfect opportunity to do a little digging into her life. Emma approached the podium and reached for the microphone. The reporters began shouting over each other, each wanting to be called on first. "Emma, your name is trending everywhere. You're topping the search rankings. How much did you pay for that? Emma, are you jealous of Amber's place in the spotlight? Miss Miller, did you create this scandal just to get attention?" Finally, Emma cleared her throat and got everyone's attention and began to speak. "I want to apologize for damaging Global Entertainment's reputation and casting doubt on Amber Lee's integrity. At the Bellamy show, I decided to appear on stage and display the bracelet. That decision was mine alone. The goal was to stir up attention and regain my place in the spotlight. Neither Global Entertainment nor my manager had a part in this plot. The responsibility is mine alone. Thank you all for coming." The reporters went completely silent. They'd never seen a celebrity admit wrongdoing so readily and in such a straightforward manner. Emma thought that the press conference was now over, but before she could turn away, she heard Nathan ask Global's creative director to come to the podium. "This was not the first time Miss Miller has behaved this way," he said, obviously coached by Nathan. "But we are willing to give her one final chance. Emma, I hope you've learned from your mistakes and that we can trust you not to repeat them again." Emma couldn't believe her ears. "Not the first time?" she repeated to herself. "Nathan, you are ruthless." But true to her word, she remained silent and left the podium. Just like that, the internet blew up with hateful comments. The public was furious with Emma. At Kaleidoscope Entertainment, Eric overheard his staff gossiping about the press conference. He turned to his assistant, who filled him in on the events of the afternoon. "Mr. Roberts," Luke asked, "do you want to try and help Emma?" "Not just yet. I want to see how she deals with it," Eric replied. He had helped her before, but this time he would stand back and see what she could do. He hoped his new wife would show the world just what she was capable of.
Hi, Emma here. I hope you are enjoying the show, The Billionaires Accidental Bride. If you want to know what happens next, click on the link in the description to listen to the full audio series. You can also watch the next episode here in the playlist.
Emma's announcement that she took full responsibility for the Bellamy fiasco cleared Global's name. Bellamy accepted her apology and believed her when she said she'd acted independently. They even decided to make Amber their spokesperson, as originally planned. Amber's popularity was expected to skyrocket. Global Entertainment, Nathan, and Amber recovered from the incident completely. Emma, however, saw her reputation destroyed. Queen of hype, scheming model, and other, even less flattering hashtags appeared in connection with her name, and the internet was flooded with hateful comments. She tried to remain calm. She knew that the higher Nathan and Amber climbed now, the harder they would fall. But for now, even the office cleaner at Global was giving her a hard time. "Miss Miller, could you please move your pretty legs? Can't you see I'm trying to clean up here? Why are you even coming into the office? It's not like you have a show coming up. My back hurts cleaning up after you." Emma's expression turned cold. Even though she had fallen to a low point in her career, it didn't mean she would allow everyone to bully her. She didn't want to make things difficult for the staff, but she had to start standing up for herself. She called Nathan on speakerphone so the cleaner would hear their conversation. "Nathan, have I sunk so low that even the office cleaner can bully me?"
"Get her name and tell HR to fire her," Nathan snapped. "And after that, come to my office to discuss our next steps."
Emma hung up the phone and looked up at the cleaner coldly. "Even if I'm no longer a model, you can't talk to me like dirt. I'll let this go for now, but don't let it happen again." The cleaner's face turned pale and she broke out in a cold sweat. She hadn't expected Emma to stand up for herself. "I'm sorry, Miss Miller. It won't happen again." Emma knocked on Nathan's office door and entered the room. "Emma, your reputation is in shreds, but I've made some arrangements for you to start to redeem yourself. You can start by visiting Amber and show some concern for her to show you're sorry. Maybe you can get some sympathy votes that way. You don't have to mean it. Just put on a show in front of the cameras for a few minutes and we'll broadcast the visit live." Nathan had actually thought Emma would refuse to humiliate herself like this, but she surprised him and nodded in agreement. "So you'll do it?" "Yes," she answered. "I haven't had the chance to visit Amber since she got hurt. This is the perfect opportunity." "In that case, I'll get you an escort. There's a swarm of reporters outside." Luke was waiting outside with the car. On the way to the hospital, Emma messaged Eric. "Don't worry about the news you're about to see. I'm on my way to the hospital to visit Amber, but I have a plan. And I want to come home to you tonight. Can you send someone to pick me up from the hospital? I don't even know where my new home is." Eric received Emma's message while he was in the middle of a meeting. For the first time that anyone could remember, he paused mid-sentence to respond to the text, causing everyone in the room to look around at each other in surprise. They were all intensely curious about who could possibly be so important to merit a response when he usually never interrupted a meeting to answer a text or a call. Eric sent his reply. "Good for you. I'm looking forward to seeing you later. I'll pick you up myself." Emma couldn't help but smile when she received Eric's reply. Nathan's assistant noticed her in the rearview mirror. "You can smile all you want, but just wait till you find out what's coming your way," he thought. Emma knew the whole world was currently against her, but she forced herself to put it out of her mind and send a message to her manager. "Nathan has arranged for me to see Amber at the hospital. I'm almost there. Are you ready?" Anyone with half a brain could tell Amber is using this as an opportunity to humiliate you, Lisa replied. "I've been ready for ages, and I'm sure the public will enjoy what I have to share. There's pictures and a video." "Go ahead and release the pictures, but keep the video for later. I want to give Nathan and Amber some time to argue it out first." "Got it. We'll wait for the right time. When they're at their worst, I'll release the video and watch the pieces fall. Lisa, just please be careful." Emma immediately deleted the records of the text from her phone and smiled to herself once more. In her private hospital room, Amber was sitting up comfortably in bed. Her eyes sparkled at the thought of being able to humiliate Emma. Never in her wildest dreams had she thought Emma would be so stupid as to take all the blame. She'd increased Amber's recognition and even helped her secure the spokesperson deal with Bellamy. "Amber, Emma is almost here," said her assistant Gary. "When she arrives, the cameras will run for a 3-minute live broadcast. In just a moment, I'll ask the doctor to come in and change your bandages. At the same time, I'll ask Emma to help you wash your feet." Amber had been overshadowed by Emma for so long. From this point on, she vowed she would climb higher and higher. She was going to step all over Emma, take Nathan from her, and become the first lady of global entertainment. "This is going to be great. From now on, things will only keep getting better for you," Gary said. "For one thing, the annual Top 10 Model Awards Committee is about to make their selection, and I know you'll be selected. You'll be one step closer to becoming a real superstar." Amber slowly smiled.
Hi, Emma here. I hope you are enjoying the show, The Billionaires' Accidental Bride. If you want to know what happens next, click on the link in the description to listen to the full audio series. You can also watch the next episode here in the playlist.
Emma entered the hospital, escorted only by Nathan's assistant. She would have to face Amber without the support of her own team. Gary, Amber's assistant, was guarding the door. "So you're here to apologize," he said with a sneer. "You'll just have to wait. Amber's resting." Emma looked Gary straight in the eyes. With a deceptively calm voice, she said, "How dare you talk to me like that?" Before he could respond, Amber called out from the room. "Is that Emma? Come in, Emma." Amber was annoyed with Gary. Right now was not the time to be rude to her. And she still had the power of her family behind her, even if they no longer paid as much attention to her as they had when she was famous. Emma held her head high and walked into the room. "Amber, how are you?" "Nathan told me we're going to film a live broadcast. Isn't that exciting, Emma? I'm so happy to help you show the world how sorry you are." Emma hesitated for a moment. She honestly couldn't believe how shameless Amber was. She was almost as bad as Nathan. They all knew he had asked Emma to fill in at the Bellamy show, but they were all still trying to pretend that it had been Emma's idea. "We already prepared this scene," Gary said. "In just a moment, the doctor will come in to change Amber's bandages. You'll have the opportunity to show how sorry you are by helping Amber wash her feet." "That's enough," Emma snapped. "We all know what really happened. Don't you think it's time we stopped pretending you're innocent?" "Emma, what are you talking about?" said Amber, opening her eyes wide. "If it wasn't for Nathan, I wouldn't put up with this. You know all this is your doing." "Emma,
It's bad enough you won't apologize to me. Do you have to be mean to me when I've done nothing wrong? Amber really was a good actor. She maintained her innocence. Apologize to you? I'm never going to apologize to you. I have nothing to apologize for, Emma said. Unfortunately, she didn't realize that Gary was recording the whole scene. He immediately posted the video online with an attention-grabbing tagline. Attention-seeking disgraced model declares, "I'm never going to apologize to you." In an instant, the wave of hate rose again, ready to come crashing down on Emma. Gary kept recording as Emma left the room. This time, Emma really has gone too far. Amber summoned up tears for the camera. Not only did she refuse to apologize, she even had the nerve to say it was all my fault. And that was when the war between the models really sparked off. Global quickly released a statement apologizing to the public and implying that they intended to release Emma from their contract with her. No one would have believed that Emma's career could possibly recover, but just as it seemed that things could never get better, a collection of photos surfaced online with a caption, "No apology necessary. Emma was wronged." The photo showed Amber and Nathan embracing and kissing passionately in Amber's hospital bed, with Amber wearing a skimpy hospital gown. No one could mistake the images for something innocent. The text posted with the photos exposed the whole story of Amber and Nathan cheating on Emma for months and manipulating her into filling in for Amber. And just like that, the truth was out. Amber and Nathan's intimate photos spread everywhere, along with the truth that Emma had acted honorably all along. Public opinion swung back 180 again. Emma, who had given up her career for love, had never once tried to make excuses for herself. The tables had turned once again, but Amber did not know it yet. She was in her hospital room in the middle of yet another interview. Just as she was saying how she actually felt sorry for Emma, the reporter's phone dinged. "Miss Lee," she said, "how do you explain these photos?" Amber's face turned pale. "What are those?" she asked in horror. "These appear to be intimate photos of you and Nathan Davis." Amber froze. A moment ago, she had everyone's sympathy. Now, everyone knew she had seduced someone else's fiancé. Her mind went blank. "No, it's all fake. This must be part of Emma's plan. Don't film me anymore. Just get out. Go!" "Miss Lee," the reporter said, "just when I thought I'd seen everything in the entertainment industry, you've still managed to shock me. I'm going to tell you this. There is still some justice in the world. I'm never going to write another negative word about Emma Miller." Amber began trembling. As soon as the reporters left, she called Nathan. "Nathan, have you seen the photos? What should we do?" "It's just some photos. Don't panic. I'm working on a solution," he responded calmly. But inside, he wasn't calm at all. Not only was Amber's future at risk, the whole of Global was in trouble as well. And perhaps worst of all, he realized, he could lose Emma forever. "Emma must be behind all this," Amber said shrilly. "Well, maybe if you'd been nicer to her, this wouldn't have happened," Nathan answered angrily and hung up. He tried to call Emma right away, but her phone kept ringing out to voicemail. Emma was holding her phone and watching it ring. She was imagining how anxious Nathan must be, and she decided to let him stew a little longer. "Emma, I'm outside the back entrance." She hadn't let Eric's call go to voicemail. The second she heard his deep voice, all her uneasiness fled. As she got in the car, her phone continued to ring and ring, but she ignored it and threw it into the back seat. "You're not going to pick up?" Eric asked. "You already know the answer," Emma smirked. She planned to make Nathan look for her all night long.
Hi, Emma here. I hope you are enjoying the show, The Billionaires' Accidental Bride. If you want to know what happens next, click on the link in the description to listen to the full audio series. You can also watch the next episode here in the playlist.
Eric stopped talking and focused on the road. Meanwhile, Emma focused on the birthmark on his earlobe. Why are you looking at me like that? He asked. Emma reached out for Eric's arm. Before we go to our new home, could you come with me somewhere? Of course, but after that, are you interested in finishing what we started last night? Eric's tone was casual, but Emma couldn't hide her nervousness. Eric didn't pressure her, though. They headed to a park known for its beautiful cherry blossom trees and wonderful restaurant. Emma and Nathan had met at the park frequently, or at least had often made plans to meet there. Finally answering Nathan's call, she said, "I'm heading to the cherry blossom park. Meet me under our favorite tree as soon as you can."
I'm on my way,
Nathan said immediately. Even though he was having an affair with Amber, he had never intended to stop seeing Emma. Where would he find another woman who was so easy to manipulate? Emma hung up and looked at Eric. "I have no love left for Nathan," she said. The two of them looked out the window at the scenery below. Not long after, an anxious figure appeared beneath her favorite cherry blossom tree. Nathan had arrived. She had stood under that tree so many times, naively waiting all day for him to show up. Most of the time, she had waited in vain. She couldn't believe how badly she let him treat her. But now, it was his turn to suffer. "Will this make you feel better?" Eric asked. "It's a start. I want him to experience everything he made me go through, the big things and the small ones." Eric reached for Emma's chin. Turning her face to his, he saw a woman who was delicate on the outside but had an inner core of steel. "I ordered foie gras," she said. "The waiter said it was quite good." Eric released her from his grasp. "How did you know that I liked that?" "I have my ways," she said. "Let's eat while we chat." Eric looked at her pink, soft, luscious lips. "I don't want to chat. I just want to kiss you." Nathan remained standing along under the tree while Emma and Eric enjoyed their meal. She might look unassuming, but she isn't weak, he thought. Time passed quickly for the couple as Nathan continued to wait outside. He kept calling Emma, but she had turned her phone off. Eric took a last glance down at Nathan and asked, "Do you want to continue watching him wait?" "No, I want you to help me move into your house." Eric escorted Emma out through the side door and drove to her home. While she packed, Eric found a huge photo in the living room of Emma receiving a modeling trophy. If she hadn't retreated from the industry, he thought, she would have been an international superstar by now. A few minutes later, she emerged from her bedroom with a teddy bear and a small bag. "I'm ready." "You don't want anything else?" "No, let's leave the memories behind." Back at the park, Nathan waited for 4 hours. He had planned to stay all night if that's what it took, but then Amber called. "Nathan, where are you? I'm waiting outside your house. I need you. Why are those photos of us still all over the web?" Nathan rushed home. Seeing Amber, he couldn't help but run to her. "I won't let you be destroyed, and I won't let Global be destroyed." "Nathan, you're all I have. Don't leave me and the baby." Nathan ordered his staff to release a statement saying that the pictures of the two of them were misleading. Nathan paid a few social influencers to post glowing reviews of his company and of Amber. He contacted everyone he could think of to clean up Amber's image and to cast blame on Emma. His goal was to position Amber to win the Top 10 Model Award and then announce she would be leaving the country to study. She could have her child away from the prying eyes of the public. Nathan was willing to go to great lengths to make this plan work. Emma's manager would come over to Emma's apartment to plan their next move, but was surprised to find that Emma wasn't home. Feeling confused, she called Emma. "Where are you?" Emma laughed and said, "I haven't had the chance to tell you. I moved." "Where did you move to? Does Nathan know? Tell me where you are and I'll come get you right now." Emma put her phone on mute and said, "My manager seems to think I need help. I'd like to talk with her in person. Do you trust her completely?" "Of course." "Then let me send someone to pick her up and bring her here." Lisa was fuming by the time Luke, Eric's assistant, arrived. "Please get in the car. I'm here to take you to see Emma." Lisa wasn't feeling very friendly. If anything has happened to Emma, I will do some serious physical harm to you and your boss, she threatened. Just get in the car. Lisa glared at Luke as she got in the car and kept glaring throughout the ride. But as the car approached one of the most expensive streets in Tribeca, Lisa grew silent in shock. Just who the hell is your boss? She said weakly. You'll find out once you get inside, he replied. Lisa started to worry. Whoever lived there probably had a lot of power to go along with their money. Luke escorted Lisa into the building. Elevator opened up to a palatial living room where Emma was waiting on the sofa. Even without any makeup, she was stunning. Emma, what's going on? You don't really live here, do you? Lisa, there's something I need to tell you, but I don't want you to be upset. Tell me, do you have a new boyfriend? No, Emma shook her head. I'm married. After a long pause, Lisa burst out, What did you say? You're married? Who are you married to? Eric came into the room. Hello, Lisa, he said. To her surprise, he walked over to Emma, leaned over and whispered gently into her ear. I know, she responded. I'll only be about a half an hour. See you later, Lisa, he said, and headed back out of the room. Lisa froze in disbelief. Emma, I want to know if I'm dreaming. Are you married to Eric Roberts, the CEO of Kaleidoscope? Yeah. For real? Yes, it's really him, my new husband, Emma said. Lisa's mood changed. Emma, this is such a great surprise. I can't believe it. I'm cured. You're cured? Yes, I'm cured of my hatred for your mystery man. You totally made the right decision. If you're gonna get married to someone, it shouldn't be to that piece of trash, Nathan. Ooh, when he finds out, God, that'll be so satisfying.
Hi, Emma here. I hope you are enjoying the show, The Billionaires' Accidental Bride. If you want to know what happens next, click on the link in the description to listen to the full audio series. You can also watch the next episode here in the playlist.
I'm not planning to announce my relationship with Eric just yet, Emma explained calmly and confidently. With his help, I know my career could advance by leaps and bounds. But I don't want anyone to say that my success is due to being his wife. 3 years ago, I became a top model in New York through my own hard work. I'm confident I can do it again. If you're still willing to help me, then let's do this together. But if you want to move on, I won't pressure you. I'll even help you find another position at a better company. Of course I'll stand by your side. I want to become the manager of the next international supermodel, Lisa replied enthusiastically. But are you planning to stay at Global Entertainment? What do you think? Emma gave Lisa a look, letting her figure out the answer herself. Nathan has used me over and over, and I plan to make him pay. Lisa burst out laughing as she leaned into Emma. Emma, I never knew you could be so sneaky. So what's the next move? Should we release the video? No, let's secure the spokesperson deal first. To be precise, let's take what should have been mine right out of Amber's hands. Afterwards, when Amber's fans are complaining, then we'll release the video. In the meantime, can you help edit the clips from the Bellamy show and post them online? Of course, leave it to me. Lisa was impressed with the changes she was seeing in Emma. Who knew she could be this powerful? Emma sent Lisa home and then headed back into the beautifully scented bedroom. Eric had changed into a robe and was sitting on a sofa enjoying a glass of red wine. She was nervous, but walked over to sit beside him. He reached for her and softly kissed her. Caught off guard and blushed. Eric laughed and gently kissed her on the tip of her nose. Do you like the taste of wine on my lips? Perhaps you should try some more. Eric wrapped a towel around his body and knelt before Emma. He lifted her chin and spoke. I want your heart first. When I'm the only person in your heart, then I will make you completely mine. He smoothed her hair, calming himself at the same time. Emma nodded, grasping Eric's hands. It's been such a long time since a man has treated me with respect. He had faith that Emma could take care of herself. The next morning, the war between the two models was already old news, and the rumors about Nathan and Amber had been buried under Global's newest press releases. Interestingly, Emma's straightforward response to the media had an unexpected benefit. She gained a huge number of new fans, who were now searching online for her old appearances and photos. Amber and Nathan had failed to notice that Emma's popularity was on the rise. Her performance with the Crown star during the Bellamy show had been spectacular. Her new fans felt that she should get the recognition she deserved, so they shared her videos online and bombarded Bellamy with fan mail. Based on the fans' reactions, Bellamy's founder, Julius Taylor, began watching the videos of Emma's performance. He was amazed by her beauty and suddenly realized that the model he'd been so angry with was the perfect match for his jewelry. It was like they were made for each other. Now that he had the time to calm down, he realized that Emma's elegance and professionalism were infinitely better for representing the Crown star than Amber had ever been. Ironically, because Emma had admitted wrongdoing, Julius even felt he could now trust her. He called a meeting at Bellamy to discuss changing the spokesperson. After watching the videos, the group reached the only possible conclusion. Emma had to be the next spokesperson. Julius called the head of Global Entertainment.
Mr. Taylor, Nathan said as he answered the phone. Amber has almost completely recovered from her injuries and should be able to represent your company very soon.
I'm not calling about that, Mr. Davis. Bellamy has decided to change spokespersons. We would like Emma to step in for Amber, he said. Nathan didn't know how to react.
Mr. Taylor, I don't think that's right.
We haven't signed the contract yet. If you're not willing to have Emma serve as the spokesperson, we would prefer to cancel this collaboration and work with another company.
But we have other models, ones that are more famous than Amber.
We only want Emma. Taylor had made up his mind, leaving Nathan with no choice. This deal was supposed to have cleared Amber's path to the Top 10 Model Award. Telling her she was no longer the spokesperson was going to be tricky. The news quickly spread to Lisa, who called Emma right away. Emma, you got the deal, she yelled over the phone.
Don't get ahead of yourself, Lisa. Amber isn't going to just let this deal slip away.
Hi, Emma here. I hope you are enjoying the show, The Billionaires' Accidental Bride. If you want to know what happens next, click on the link in the description to listen to the full audio series. You can also watch the next episode here in the playlist.